Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each and everyone. Welcome to the International Free Webinar. Thank you for joining us for this wonderful evening. I am your host for tonight. My name is Rohamina P. Gapor. It is my pleasure to be part of the Institute of Global Professionals. To all the new participants, welcome. And allow me to give you a little bit background about IGP or Institute of Global Professionals. Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institution that provides social work with globally recognized. IGP is a leading online skills development institute with thousands of learners worldwide. We have organized this webinar, training, offline, and online courses from the best and trained speakers from all over the world to create the best learning platform for all of you. We believe that it's not effective to increase one's skills just by acquiring formal education. So we provide essential training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. Our mission is to empower people and improve their skills. As IGP's mantra, feed your skills, we have feed your skills and we have completed successfully 315 webinars. Wonderful. And tonight, we are happy to bring you 316 webinar. Actually, this is a series webinar on research, a comprehensive approach with the title Selecting the Research Title and Background of the Study with two brilliant speakers, Dr. Riogel Santiago and Sir Jason Alde, all the way from the Philippines. Okay, so please, our lovely audience, don't forget to share this webinar in your community, or you can tag or mention your friend's name in our comment box. Okay, so we expect that today's topic will help you to improve your personal and professional life. Now, without further ado, I would like to welcome our first speaker. Our first speaker is a teacher by profession. He obtained the degree of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Religious and Values Education at Kalumban College in Olongapo City in 2011, being a third honorable mention. He passed the licensure examination for teachers in September 2012. Dr. Riogel obtained his degree of Master of Arts in Education Management at Gordon College, Olongapo City, and received the award with highest distinction. On September 25, 2020, he obtained his degree of Doctor of Education at Kalumban College, Olongapo City. Dr. Riogel received numerous awards and achievements, such as Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan International Award of Honor 2021, Emerging Teacher of the Year, Educatio World Virtual International Edu Conclave and Award 2021, Excellence in Teaching Award St. Michael College of Caraga Virtual Asian Conference on Interdisciplinary Research 2011. And Dr. Ryojel also received Best Paper Award, Maharaja Global Teacher Award, Excellence Award in teaching outstanding teacher of the region, Educatio World Asia Star Rating Award, first virtual Asian Education Summit 2011. Actually, he has a lot of achievement, so I cannot mention all of those. So, dear our participants, please help me welcome our first speaker, none other than Dr. Riojel Santiago, all the way from the Philippines. Sir, you can introduce yourself again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, sir. Good
Thank you, ma'am.
evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for that introduction, ma'am. So, good day to each and every one of us, to all our viewers who are watching in Facebook Live, in our Facebook page of IGP, those who are watching in YouTube Live, and of course, who are watching all over the world. Magandang gabi, a Filipino greeting of saying good evening, especially to our fellow Filipinos there. I am so honored to be part of this research talks initiated by Institute of Global Professionals, and I am extending first of all my deepest and sincerest gratitude to the organization, especially to the one who invited me, Dr. Arnold Alvaro, for this event. I think this will be my third time, if I'm not mistaken, to be invited here in IGP
Wow.
to serve as a resource speaker. So once again, I am Dr. Eugene El Santiago, all the way from here, Philippines. So before we proceed to the main discussion for this evening, let's have a simple activity. But before that, let me present my presentation, ma'am.
Sure, sir. Good luck, sir.
Okay, so I think my presentation is visible now. Okay, so before we proceed to our main discussion, let's have this very simple activity, and may I request the participation of our dear audience and participants for this evening. The title of our simple activity is Sing Your Feelings. Again, sing your feelings. Now, what will be the instruction of this activity? Given the chance to choose an appropriate title of a song that will best describe or represent your what you feel right now, what would be the title, what would be the title of this, no? Type your answers in the chat box, if type your answers in the chat box, no? And we will wait for your responses. So once again, if given a chance to have a title on what you're feeling right now, or what you feel right now, what would it be? So please type your answers in the comment section or maybe in the chat box. Then we will try to read the responses of our dear participants. I'll give you at least 30 seconds, I think. Okay, so what will be the title of the song that will best represent your feelings right now? I will try to read the answers from the comment section in Facebook Live. Okay, so some said, let's try. I'm so excited. I don't know if that's a title. Life is beautiful. Let's try to read some answers. Dancing Queen. Wow, Dancing Queen. Give thanks with a grateful heart. I like that song. Give thanks, a Christian song. I am blessed. Okay, wow, I am blessed. How about the others? Sorry if I cannot read answers or comments from the YouTube because I'm following here in Facebook. But we will try to go back there, the comment section. How about the others? If given a chance to have a title of the song that will best represent what you feel on this evening, what would it be? What a beautiful life. Some said happy. Come along and make you feel like. I think that's the one what you're referring about. I'm so excited, but I just can't hide it. Wow. Let's try to wait for the responses of the others. Okay. Wonderful tonight. Wow. It's late in the evening. Wow. Flying high like an eagle. Okay. Beautiful life. And so on and so forth. Okay, so we will try to go back later on at the comment section to read some of the answers. But for the meantime, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much for your answers. And let us give each one of us a virtual clap for your responses and answers. All right? So our simple activity is very much related on what I will discuss to you later on. Okay? So we will continue. But for now, let me greet you a warmest and happy new year. New hope, new dreams, new aspirations, but I am very sure, I am pretty sure that the world is hoping and praying that this pandemic that we are experiencing right now will be eased. Let us continue moving forward and be optimist. Let us be optimistic that we will go back to what we call the old normal and the pandemic will stop. Okay? So, Happy New Year to each and every one of us who are watching right now all over the world. So, for this evening, guys, for this evening, actually, I was tasked to give my little insights about choosing a research title. That is why I said to you a while ago that our activity is very related to my discussion for this evening. So before constructing or maybe before crafting our research paper, it is very important for us to construct first what will be an appropriate title for our research paper. And along the process, we will realize that crafting a research title is not an easy thing to do. Okay? Since this will be our push button in constructing a meaningful research paper later on. So once again, I am Dr. Eugen L. Santiago from Gordon Knights National High School, a research enthusiast and a research advocate. Okay? So our title of what I'm going to share for this evening is choosing a research title. So for the objectives or maybe the outline of my discussion, so the objectives of tonight's webinar, my discussion will be we're going to discuss the overview of what research title is. Then we're going to enumerate the guidelines in constructing a good research title. And lastly, in your own, maybe in your own later on, if you're going to have or to craft your own research paper, you're going first to construct a meaningful research title. But before proceeding, may I ask again, it's just a simple review. May I ask again the prior knowledge of our dear participants? Maybe majority of our participants here or watching right now are research enthusiasts, but we need to admit also the reality that there are also some of here who are newbies, who are new in research writing. But for the meantime, using the chat box, using the comment box na you may answer this question in one word. How are you going to define or describe the word research? What I'm doing right now is maybe a simple review or recall. Okay? In one word, maybe in one phrase, if it can be, what for you is what is research for you? Okay, so and let's try to read some of the comments. Discover, okay, some said discover, to discover new things, inquiry, investigate, search again from the words re and search, okay? Investigating, knowing something, okay? Knowing something, search again, knowing something, study, explore, okay? Validate knowledge, studying, investigating, to solve a problem, study, okay? Search again, to find solution, yes, to find solution, exactly. Let's try to wait for other, okay? So what is research, okay? Okay, so gather data, validate something, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, basically, when we say research, okay, so basically, when we say research, research is a studious inquiry or examination, especially investigation or experimentation. And what is the aim? What is the goal? Discovery and interpretation of facts, revision of accepted theories or laws in the light of new facts, or practical application of such new or revised theories or laws, and that is according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary. And also, when we say research, it is a process. It is a systematic process. And when we say systematic process, it is a step-by-step procedure that we're going to use. We're going to collect and analyze data, okay, to increase our understanding of a topic or issue, and that's according to Creswell. Again, I want to give emphasis on this phrase, to increase our understanding of a topic or an issue. Okay? So now, another question that I want you to answer is, before constructing, again, I told you a while, I said a while ago that majority of us here watching right now is maybe, or rather very familiar in writing research. Before constructing a research paper, what is or what are your considerations? Can you please elaborate or answer this question? Before constructing your research paper, what is or what are your considerations? Okay? May I have the answer of our dear participants? What are your considerations, or what is your consideration before constructing your research paper? So let's try again to read some of the comments, the responses of our dear participants. Okay, let's try to read some. The objectives, expertise of the researcher. You should know your goal. Okay? It should be easy to collect data, the possible contribution of the study to the society, availability of the respondents, the problem itself, okay, the purpose. It should be smart. It will be discussed later on, the smart. Okay, gathering data, okay, needs and applicability of the paper, the respondents, the purpose, expertise and analysis, okay? Consider the smart, literature, and so on and so forth. So thank you for the responses of our participants. So we will try to go back later on and read some if we will still have enough time. Okay. According to Liddy in 1997, there are some characteristics of research process. Okay? Number one, research originates with a question or problem. That's the very first thing. We all know that the world, of course, our life is full of questions that we want to though we have questions that of course we want to be answered. We want those questions to be answered, and maybe these questions, this curiosity will push us to look for means, to look for solutions, to look for ways in providing answer to this problem or question, which is also very evident in research writing. We will first identify the question or the problem itself. Next, research require a clear articulation of a goal. In research, we must avoid ambiguity, and goals must be stated clearly and precisely. Next, research requires a specific plan of procedure. I told you a while ago that research is a systematic process. It is a step-by-step process. In order for us to answer our questions or queries later on, there must be a careful plan in doing our research. Next, research usually divides the principal problems into more manageable sub-problems. In research, big problems are chopped and broken down. This will help us researchers to isolate lesser problems from main problems that needs to be focused. Next, Researchers are guided by specific research problems, questions, or hypotheses. In doing a research, we must ensure that there is alignment in research problems. There should be alignment in the questions, hypotheses, or else our audience will be misled. Okay? Next, research accepts certain critical assumption. Assumptions are presumed as true statements or facts related to the research problem. This will help our audience, our readers, to realize the foundation in analyzing the conclusion that result from this assumption. For example, the researcher assumes that music therapy technique will reduce the burnout of teachers. Next, research requires the collection and interpretation of data in attempting to resolve the problem that initiated the research. Obviously, guys, data has a vital role in research. Results will be based on the data collected. That is why it is reminded that there must be a systematic procedure on how we are going to collect data to be interpreted later on. And lastly, according to Levy, research is by its nature cyclical, or more exactly helical. And we should bear in our mind that research is a cycle. It begins simply. It follows logical developmental steps. However, it will not stop there. It is a process. Maybe we can already provide answer to our research questions later on, but from these results, another problem, another query will arise. Then the cycle of research process will begin again. Okay? So next. My next question is, what are your difficulties or weaknesses in constructing a research paper? Okay? It's a heart-to-heart question. Okay? I want you to be honest, guys. In crafting, in designing, in doing a research paper, what are your weaknesses? Okay? Again, research is not an easy thing to do. We need to accept that reality. Okay? Now, upon constructing your research paper, what are your weaknesses? Okay? Time management, time, okay? Time, data collection, about the others, financial, that's so true. Formulating problems, select appropriate theory, okay? Gathering of data, gathering of data, gathering of data, okay? Data gathering, I think majority of our participants are having a hard time in data gathering. Okay? Respondents are not participative. Okay, so thank you for the responses. Moving on, I asked this because Zaid in 2019 identified some of the challenges faced especially by the students, not only by researcher but also by the students who are taking up research subjects in making a research paper. And one of these many challenges faced by students and even us researchers is constructing, crafting a research title. Again, one of this is the difficulty in constructing a research title. Not actually difficulty in constructing a title, but difficulty in deciding the topic, the area of concentration for research. Okay, so that's according to a survey or study. Because, guys, as a researcher, before constructing, before crafting, before finalizing, of course, our research title, okay, before crafting a research title, we must and we should first identify what is the research problem. What is our research problem? Okay? And research problem, according to Bryman in 2007, is a statement of an area of interest. It is the focus, a situation to be changed, a challenge to be removed, or a disturbing question in academic literature, in theory, in a practice that points to the need for meaningful understanding and intentional research. Again, I want to give emphasis on this. For crafting a research title, we should first identify what is the specific research problem that we want and need to be focused in doing our research paper. Okay? Now, I saw actually a comment a while ago, the SMART. Okay? And we are very familiar on this SMART. According to Alika in 2014, the characteristics of a research problem is SMART. And what is this? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bounded. And I'm very sure that we are very familiar on this SMART. Our research problem should identify the specific goals, variables, local, etc. Our research problem also must be bounded on quantifiable and measurable data and results, especially when we are doing a quantitative research. Also, our research problem must be reasonable and realistic. Okay? It should not be an abstract one. Moreover, our research problem must be appropriate to the current time, period, or circumstances. That is why I'm very sure we can see a lot of papers in Google Scholar about COVID-19, about online classes, because these are some of the topics that are very timely. And lastly, okay, our research paper must be within a specific period of time. Are we going to do this in 6 month time, in 3 months time, or a year time? Okay, it's up to us. Okay, so it should be smart. It is the part also, the research problem is also the part of the paper which normally contains the reason, justification, and or the background with respect to the problem itself. That is why it is very related to the next topic, right? The background of the study, the importance of which should be established. And that is according to Creswell in 2009. Okay, so the research problem contains the justifiable reason. Okay? So, according to Charles Kettering, a problem well stated is a problem half solved. That is why it is very important for us again to that before crafting, before doing our research title, we should identify first the research problem. Okay. Now, formulate a good research title based on the problems posted. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, moving on. What makes a good research title? According to Bob Dekar in 2016, okay, always make sure that the reader, okay, will have a hint, will have a clue on what our paper or what your paper is all about upon reading the research title, upon reading the title of your paper. For example, guys, for example, if you are working with the effect of COVID-19 in the academic performance of the students, especially those who are teachers watching right now, then the reader, the audience, will easily understand based from your title that you are focused on the effects of COVID-19 in the academic performance of the students. Again, always write for your audience. As University of Southern California in 2021 stated, always write, okay, for your audience. At the same time, my dear researchers, see to it that you will check also the grammar of your title, for example, the subject-verb agreement, so that your readers will not be confused and misled. Okay, so that's one. Inform the reader accurately about the contents of the article. Next one, it will also be helpful if you will go straight to the point in reiterating, in identifying, in writing your research title. But at the same time, always again entice your reader. It should be attractable to the eyes of your readers. If you are grammatically good, you may use words, maybe synonyms that can attract your readers. As you do this, do not overload your title. Just maintain in between 5 to 15 words only. That's enough. 5 to 15 words only. For example, instead of having assessment on the quality of Catholic education, personally on my dissertation, I wrote my title as ascertaining the quality of Catholic education instead of simply assessment on the quality of Catholic education. Always remember, guys, that through research, we can build rapport, of course, and teamwork. Why I said this? On this matter, I think if we are not grammatically good, we can ask help from our colleagues, especially from the English experts in our group or department. Okay? Next. Third, as much as possible, do not use acronyms on your research title to avoid confusion on the part of the reader. But if the acronym is essential or necessary, make sure that you will include the exact meaning of that acronym. Let's say, for example, in my project proposal entitled Project Smile, Smile, okay? Which means structured modules for independent learning with experience, and I want to use this in my research paper, I can simply write my research title as The Impact of Project Smile. Okay? Open parenthesis, structured modules for independent learning with experience, close parenthesis, in the academic performance of grade 9 learners at Gordon Heights National High School. Okay? So, next, fourth bullet. Also, it is a big no to include numerical parameters in your title. For example, it is incorrect to say music therapy technique in addressing the mental health of 40 teachers in Gordon Heights National High School. And I think that rule is generic in the world of research. And at the same time, those numbers will reflect actually on some parts of the paper but should not be on the research title. It should not be on the research title. Okay? And lastly, include, okay, always make sure to include keywords that will give hint or clue to your readers. These keywords will give a hint or clue again on our readers about the parameters and content of our paper. So those are the qualities of a good research title according to Bob Descartes in 2016. Now, Dr. Ed Padama, okay, a Filipino research enthusiast who also have a TikTok channel and YouTube channel and whose contents are about research making, about research crafting, gave tips in constructing a meaningful research title, and I want to share this to you. Okay? So what are these elements according to Padama in 2020? Number one, the research goal. Okay? And when we say research goal, of course, from the word itself, goal, it is the target of your research paper. And according to Padama, the first two or three words in the title will help our paper in establishing the research goal on the part of the readers. Okay? So our research goal will give direction and objectives on the study. It will tell the readers what you want to discover. Phrases like this one, the effect, the impact, the role, the relationship, the link, the correlation, the perception, the perspective, the innovation, the development, the awareness, the framework, challenges, opportunities. So some of these phrases or words will give a hint, will give a clue on our readers what we want to discover in our paper. Okay, so that's the first one, the research goal. Next, we have this independent variable. According to Padama, so these variables, the independent variables, are not affected by any other variable. That is why it is called independent. It can stand alone. And this is usually the focus and issue or the topic at hand. This is not exactly the problem, guys, in the paper, but it will become a problem if we or you will combine this part on the research goal. For example, the very common topic right now is about COVID-19. So COVID-19 is an independent variable. This will become a problem if you will combine this in your research goal. Let's say the impact of COVID-19, the effects of COVID-19. Okay, so it can be now a problem if you're going to combine that on a research goal. Next, another example is distance learning. Okay, so distance learning. This is not exactly the problem, but if you're going to combine the research goal into distance learning, let's say challenges in distance learning. So the distance learning now will become the focus or issue of your paper. Okay, next, we have the dependent variable. So this is the third one, third element. According to Padama, these variables are affected by the independent variables and cannot stand alone. So this includes the areas relevant to the respondents. So some examples given by Padama were actually academic performance of selected graded students, okay, mental health of healthcare workers, students' well-being, blood clotting of COVID-19 patients, and so on and so forth. So that's the dependent variable. Next one, we have and the last one, last element, according to Padama, is the local of the study. And when we say local, so the researchers must include in the title the specific area of the study. For example, will it be on a school, in a barangay, in a community, or else if you will not indicate the local in your title, our readers will be misled again. Okay, so for example, we're going to combine research goal, dependent variable, and the local, the impact of online learning in the students' well-being at Gordon Heights National High School. And that is a very good example of those elements according to Padama. Okay? Now, take note, these elements presented by Padama are most applicable in quantitative research titles. Now, in identifying whether a title is a quantitative or qualitative research, let us always look at the research variable. Okay? And again, sabi natin, di ba? When we say research variable, according to ECOMM channel in YouTube, it refers, okay? So research variable refers to a person, to a place, to a thing or phenomenon that the researcher is trying to measure, explain, or describe. If the variables expressed in the title can be measured and expressed numerically, take note, if the variable in the title or the variables in the title can be measured and expressed numerically, then it will fall under quantitative research. So example of a research title under quantitative research is the impact of 5 E's model in the modular teaching learning of mathematics among grade 10 learners. So that title, that paper can be measured and actually expressed numerically. But according to the YouTube channel, if the variables indicated in the title can only be described and is not measurable, then it falls under qualitative research. For example, example of title number 1, objectification theory toward understanding women's lived experiences and mental health risks. Based from the title, it is not measurable, but it's describable. Example number two, epitome of phenomenal woman. Face of business industry in the hands of women in Allen, Northern Summer, which is a study by Grande in 2020. So I hope by those tips, you can identify whether a research title falls under quantitative or qualitative research. So in summary, according to Gagalang in 2021, consider the following in constructing a research title. Of course, it should be your area or focus of your specialization. Again, we have this saying, you cannot give what you do not have. You should be expert on the research problem or topic that you're going to concentrate later on. Next, observe or perceive problem. Again, at the very beginning, before constructing a research title, we should first identify what the main problem is. We should also identify the research gap, the ways of getting or processing data, the respondents itself is very important, the setting, which includes the locale of the study, the contributions, the major contributions of your paper later on to the society, to the community, in a school, etc., etc. So those are considerations that need to be considered in constructing a research title according to Gagalang in 2021. And before I end my sharing for this evening, according to Albert Einstein, if we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? Okay? So these are my references, and with that, thank you and God bless to each and every one of us. Again, Happy New Year. Good evening. Ma'am Rohamina.
Okay, so, sir, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. You know, one of the most difficult part of research is how to construct a good title. Wait. Okay, so, sir, thank you so much because you emphasize the characteristics on what to include or how to construct a good title, because we have many things to consider when it comes to constructing a good title. First, we
Yeah.
must think what is new in our title, right? What is new? What can we include in that topic that would catch the attention of our readers? Just like what you have mentioned, we have many things to consider, and also we must be careful on the grammar, right? And the words must be 5 to 15 words. And many of the students or even the researchers, they are constructing a title is a very challenging for them, right? And
Yes.
then after that, you have to think for your abstract, right? In abstract, you have to include everything, the tools you use, the objectives, and the conclusion also in your research. And I hope, sir, our participants learn from your presentation. And I am pretty sure they'll learn from you, sir. So thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you very
Ria
much.
Jal Santiago, for your wonderful presentation
Thank you
tonight.
very much.
Okay? Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so let us move on to our next speaker. Okay, our next speaker is Sir Jason E. Alve. Sir Jason Alde is a licensed professional teacher. He is a public secondary school teacher under the Technology and Livelihood Education or TLE in the department at Gordon Heights National High School, Olongapo City. He is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science at Holy Infant Jesus College, Olongapo City in 2009. Mr. Alve engaged on several social works in non-government organizations. In 2015, he was elected president of Rotaract Club of Olongapo and Richard III again the organization for the youth after it vanished several years ago. Serving humanity and serving above self is the motto of the organization. Various of projects for our countrysides and for indigenous people has been implemented since then. Okay, so uh, please, our lovely participants, let me help me to welcome our second speaker, Sir Jason Alde, and Sir Jason Alde will going to discuss the topic on background of the study. Now, Dr. Riogel successfully explained how to construct a good title, the characteristics on constructing a good title. Then now another relevant part of the research, which is very challenging, is how to construct a background of the study. So through the help of Sir Jason Alve, we can able to understand what to include in the background of the study. Okay, Sir Alve, good evening. How are you, sir?
Hello, hello, good evening. Good evening, Ma'am Rohamina. Thank you very
Good
much for
evening,
that,
sir.
for your generous introduction. So
You're
let me
welcome, sir.
share first my slides.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Ma'am Rohamina. Um, all right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to our participants across the globe. Those who are watching now live in our Facebook page, in the Facebook page of IGP, and also good evening to all those who are watching in live via YouTube. Okay, before I start my topic, I'd like to thank you the IGP organization for this invitation to talk, and also in this platform. So my name is Jason E. Alde, your speaker or speaker for tonight. Um, I'll be discussing about the background of the study. Anyway, I am a teacher, as Ma'am Rohamina mentioned a while ago. I'm a teacher at Gordon Heights National High School, Division of Olongapo City, Philippines. Also a graduate of Master of Arts in Educational Administration. So before we go through to the main topic, which is the background of the study, I'd like to pose these two questions. The first one is that what is your understanding of crafting the background of the study? So you can use the chat box, okay, to share your answers. Okay, what is your understanding of crafting the background of the study? Anyone? You can use our chat box live in Facebook. Let me see. Okay, we have one from Evelyn P. Wapiari. She said, write the purpose of the study, the route, theories that will support the study according to Ma'am Evelyn Esperanza, the rationale of the study according to Sir Kokis Eld, introduction and the purpose. Okay, it provides the context to the information that you are discussing in your paper, and so on and so forth. All right. So next question is, what are the problems encountered in crafting the background of the study? So do you have what are the problems you encountered in crafting your background of the study in your research paper? Okay, the description and objective from Mamlani Amata, the objectives, the purpose, okay, from Farila Rihasi, objectives, the rationale of the study from Bella Jane Visera, description, same answer from Sak Sakahoba. According to Ma'am Anna May Joy Tamon, it includes concepts and gaps in all the main variables included in your titles. It includes also the purpose of the study, theory that supports the goal and the problem, okay, and many more. So in crafting or creating the background of this study in a research paper, let me pose this question: how to write the background to the study in a research paper? Okay. Typically, the background of the study is a review of the existing literature and the subject of your investigation. Leading up to your topic, you can identify gaps, as mentioned in the chat box, the gaps in understanding, or areas that have not been covered in these studies after you've discussed the contributions of other scholars and researchers. Then, you can describe how your research will fill in these gaps and add to the field's existing knowledge. So the background to the study in a research paper must first discuss its meaning and the core elements that it should contain. So in other words, understanding the nature of the background of the study and research and knowing exactly what to include in it or allow us to have both the greater control and clear direction of the writing process. So now next is, what is the background of the study? What are the core elements it should contain? So usually it forms the first section of the introduction to a research paper. Okay, in other words, provides the overview of the study, establishes the context of the study. Its main next is the main function of the background of the study is to explain why the proposed research is important and essential to understanding the main aspects of the study. So the background of this study, therefore, is the section of the research paper that identifies the problem or the gap of the study that needs to be addressed and justify the needs for conducting the study. So as you can see, we always uh, the focus of the background of the study is to identify the gap of the study, the previous study and the present study. So In other words, it articulates the main goal of the study and the thesis statement that is the main claim or argument of the research paper. So the background of the study should also contain the core elements or the following points. This is very critical. The background of the study should have a brief discussion on what is known about the topic under investigation. Next, an articulation of the research or the gap or problem that needs to be addressed. What are the researcher would like to do or aim to achieve, or the researcher's goal. The thesis statement also is the main argument or contention of the paper, and then the major significance or contribution of the study to a particular discipline, and an articulation of the hypothesis of the study. So, given the brief understanding of the background of the study, we can anticipate what readers or thesis committee members expect from it. So, when writing the background of the study, you should also plan and structure it based on these major points. All right. So, how to structure the background of the study? So, in this section, the author usually outlines the historical developments in the literature that leads to the current topic of research concisely. If the topic is interdisciplinary, it should describe how different disciplines are connected and what aspects of each discipline will be studied. The section should be organized as: first, what is known about the broad topic, what are the gaps or missing links that need to be addressed, what are the significance of addressing those gaps, and lastly, what are the rationale and hypothesis of the study. So I have here the guides in crafting the background of the study based on Dr. Bueno of Columban College. So the first paragraph exposes a global situational analysis of the problem that grabs the reader's attention, supported by the literature study or studies from different continents with at least 15 in-text citations, or it establishing a territory. Then the second paragraph should be presents an Asian situational analysis of the problem with at least 15 in-text citations. It should also establishing a territory. And then the third paragraph, it compares and contrasts the global and the Asian literature vis-a-vis at least 10 local related literature or studies. It presents the gap analysis between and among the literature studies previously presented in the first and second paragraph. It indicates and discusses the most critical inconsistencies and controversies in the current study literature. Okay, you're going to establishing a niche here. And then the fourth paragraph of the background of the study should explicitly states why the research is worth doing, including the main objective, the scope, the possible key results, solutions, the implications based on the analysis of the reviewed literature, study motivation, and possible significant contributions and advantages in the field of work. Okay, when you're going to follow this guide, you can craft your background of the study. Okay, I have here an example of my study when I took my master's in Columban College, titled "Teaching Cookery in the 21st Century by the Technology and Livelihood Education Teachers." So this is an example of the background of the study. As the guide mentioned a while ago, it should start with a global in a global context. Okay, it started in a Cork, Ireland. Okay, so this is the first paragraph, and then the second down to Asian, and then to the local. So like for in the Philippines, the culture of the Filipinos is in teaching cookery and TLE. And then at the on the lower part of, or the lower portion of the background of the study, you're going to discuss the gaps. Okay, so, for example, the gaps between and among the cited literatures and studies above serve as the springboard in the purpose of the study to assess the teaching cookery in the 21st century by the technology and livelihood education teachers in the division of Olongapo City. The objective of this study was to provide an insight in cooking lessons in the technology and livelihood education in schools, not only regarding the focus that the teachers can give to cooking skills, but also on how cooking skills can be fully understood and theoretical level to learn. Okay, there's a missing here.
Sir, what happened?
Okay, so to avoid, as you can see in my examples, to avoid the common mistakes in writing the background of the study, we should include the following considerations. First, you had don't write a background that is too long or too short. Just focus on including all the important details, but write it concisely. Okay, don't also make it ambiguous, because writing in a way that does not convey the message to the readers defeats the purpose of the background. So express yourself
Sir,
keeping in mind in the reader that does not your research intimately.
sir, sorry to interrupt. Kindly share your screen
Yes,
again,
ma'am.
sir. Okay, kindly share your screen.
Sorry, I thought it was shared
Okay, sir.
already.
It's okay, sir.
Uh,
Okay, sir.
it's now visible, ma'am.
Not yet. Oh, okay. Okay, so please click slideshow. Okay, to make it bigger. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, sir, and
All right,
continue.
thank you. Sorry, I think I have a problem with my laptop. All
Okay,
right,
it's
as
okay,
I've
sir.
mentioned a while ago, to avoid the mistakes in writing the background, it should be write it concisely. Don't write the background that is too long or too short. Then don't be ambiguous also. Right, because writing in a way that does not convey the message to the readers defeats the purpose of the background of the study. Don't also discuss unrelated themes. Try and center your discussion around the pivotal aspects of your research topic. For example, highlighting the gaps in the literature, state the novelty of the study, and the need to conduct the study. And last is, don't be disorganized. Not discussing the themes in a chronological order can confuse the reader about the progress in the field. Also, try and organize your writing carefully. So I hope I shared something about the background of the study. And before I end my slides, I'd like to leave this quote from Charles Kettering. Research means you don't know what are you willing to find out. Thank you and God bless everyone. Happy New Year.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful presentation. And yes, you are right. And constructing the background of the study, it provides context to the information that you are discussing in your paper. Thus, the background of the study generates the reader's interest in your research question and helps them to understand why your study is important. Right? And typically, the background of the study includes a review of the existing literature on the area of your research leading up to your topic because you can once you have discussed the contribution of other research in the field you can identify the gaps in understanding just like what you have mentioned a while ago that is areas that have not been addressed in these studies so you can then explain how your study will address these gaps and how it will contribute to the existing knowledge in the field. Okay, you have to identify the missing gaps, right? So, you have to search related information to your topic, and also you have mentioned that the background of the study. I think, if I am not mistaken, on the maximum page is three, 1 to 3. Sir, am I right? 1 to 3 page
Yes,
only.
yes, yes,
The
ma'am.
maximum is
Yeah. That
3.
is
Yeah.
that is
Mm.
the format in Columban College that we are adopting right
Mm.
now.
Okay. So that is also my understanding that the background of the study, the maximum page is 3. Yes,
Yes,
so
yes, ma'am.
1 to 2, or the maximum is 3. So thank you so much again, Sir Jason Alde, for your wonderful presentation tonight. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank
Okay, so my dear audience, tonight we don't have a quiz competition, so we have to move to our Q&A version. So now it's your time to ask question to our speakers tonight. And now we have additional teacher, Dr. Alvaro. He will help us to discuss further the research. Okay, so our lovely participants, be ready and ask questions to our speakers tonight. Once again, we don't have a quiz competition tonight. All right. Hello, Dr. Arnold, Sir Jason, and Dr. Rio.
Hello
Welcome
po.
again.
May nawala.
Okay, so
Hello.
Dr. Alvaro is now to help us uh, to address your questions tonight. Oh, we have one question. First question from Mom Igul. Mom Igul, hello, good evening. Okay, so dear participants, please don't forget also to address the name of the speaker. Okay, so this is for Sir Jason. Question: Sir, how to propose a mindset in paper? How to propose a mindset in paper? Okay, thank you so much, Sir Ma'am Aigul, for your question.
Hello, hello.
So,
Good evening. So
good evening.
in how, what is the question again? How to propose a mindset
How
in
to
paper?
propose a mindset
Okay,
in paper?
in crafting a research paper on or thesis paper, you should first identify what is your audience or who are your audience, so that that you can, and then you can focus on that.
Okay, to identify the readers or your audience, right? Okay, so thank you so much, sir, for your answer. How about Sir Rio? Do you want to add?
Actually, in my own perspective, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what is the parameter of that mindset, but for
Mm-hmm.
me, the mindset on that aspect is maybe the focus, the attention,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm not that sure. But for me, how to propose a mindset in paper, going back on my discussion a while ago, maybe it will be helpful again. Before crafting the paper, we should know first and identify what is really the main problem of our
Problem.
paper. If we
Mm.
will establish carefully the problem of the main problem in our research
Mm.
paper, then eventually we can propose or set a good mindset in our research paper. That's all, ma'am.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much, sir. And Sir Arnold. Sir
Okay,
Arnold, do
maybe
you
this,
want to add?
maybe I could answer this by the,
Mm.
when you have to um, think of a problem that is related to your work, and you have to motivate yourself to finish this so that you could help or you could solve the problems.
Okay. So, wow, wonderful answer. Thank you so much, Sir Jason, Dr. Arnold, and Dr. Leo, for your wonderful answer. Okay, so question from, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Mom. Mabluda. Okay, so question: how can we manage our time? So I think the questions is to all the speakers. Okay, so how can we manage our time? Who wants to answer first? Can you give some
Me first.
advice? How can we manage the time?
Me first.
Okay, maybe Sir Rio first. Okay, Sir Rio. Okay.
Actually, it was mentioned in my discussion a while ago. The
Mm,
SMART, remember, our paper should be
mm,
smart, specific, measurable,
mm,
attainable, realistic, and time bounded. Especially, we
time
need to set the
bounded.
parameter, the time management, and actually, the answer is still depend. It still depend on you as
Mm,
researcher. Maybe I just want to share in actually here in the Philippines actually, one of the part of action research is actually the Gantt chart. Sir Arnold, Sir Alde, am I right?
mm,
Yeah.
There is what we call the Gantt chart or the timetable actually of
mm,
how are we going to craft the paper,
mm,
when are we going to float the paper, and that's actually in all aspects, not only in research but actually in our life. It is very important for us to have a very
mm,
good time management, in especially in crafting our research. as what I have mentioned a while ago in my sharing, is your paper will be in a 6 month time limit, in a 3 month time limit. It actually depends on you. No? So it still depends on
Yeah.
you on how you're
Yes.
going to manage your time. But at the very beginning, you should set a time schedule on how you're going to conduct the very parts of your paper.
Yeah.
That's all.
And then as a teacher, it is very challenging because we need to push the students to do the research. Otherwise, they will not
Correct.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, okay. Thank you so much, Sir Rio. How about you, Sir Alde? Do you want to add?
All
Mm,
right. So as Ray mentioned, time management is very important, and to us or to a researcher, especially
mm,
to increase the effectiveness, the efficiency, and productivity of the person. So using the time effectively or wisely gives the person the choice on spending or managing the activities at their own time and expediency.
yes.
So time
Yes. That's
management
good.
is the very important factor in doing any activities or especially in research because it's very technical.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. And now let us hear from our well experienced Sir Alvaro. What can you say? Thank you so much, Sir
Okay.
Alde. Mm,
Just quick sharing. Yes.
mm,
Yes, I will share my experiences. I am
mm,
a research uh, professor here in Olongapo City. So I have to schedule the time of submission of the parts of the
mm,
research and thesis in the syllabus. So we have to follow the schedule in the syllabus. You have to prepare, you have to attend my class, and after that, you have to make your own uh, you have to make your own thesis, and then I will check
mm.
that, and later on you have to submit it again uh, for approval
Revision.
before, yes, for
Mm,
the revision. So that's why we have to follow like what Sir Dr. Yugel said in depth at Department of Education. We are following the Gantt chart or the work plan. So it's the same with the
mm.
syllabus in college, in university. We have in DepEd, we have the Gantt chart or the work plan. So that's why we can manage our time properly.
Yes, that's true. Otherwise, the students cannot finish their research. Absolutely, they cannot if we don't have a timetable or if you not pushing the students to do the research. Then I think they cannot finish it. So thank you so much, Sir Alde, Dr. Rio, and Dr. Alvaro for your amazing answer. Okay, so another question from Jelly. Hi, Ma'am Jelly. Okay, to Sir Jason, what can we do if we suddenly reach a mental block and seems lost while doing the study? Wow, very nice question. Thank you so much, Ma'am Jelly. Okay, Sir Alde, what can you say?
All right. What I can suggest, Ma'am
Mm,
Jella, is to take a rest for a while.
mm,
If you have that experience of mental blocking while doing your research, it's not bad to take a rest sometimes. And then when you are recharged, then you can go back uh to your research. That's it.
yes, yes, that's true. Rest, and then after that, continue. Okay, so any advice from Dr. Alvaro and Dr. Rio? Thank you so much, Sir Alde, for your wonderful answer.
Sorry,
Any
you
additional,
first. Sorry.
Okay,
based on your
actually that's
experience?
correct.
Mm,
Actually, I will amend to what Sir Jason have said.
mm,
You can just rest for a while, and that is why it is research. Search again.
yeah, rest,
Maybe you
search
can start.
again.
It is not wrong to start again at the very beginning, although it sounds like it's a waste of time. But in that worst to worst scenario or worst to worst cases, I think you can just go back at the very beginning to have a recall if you reach that
Mm.
mental block.
Block.
So research
Mm.
again. Search again.
Search
Thank
again.
you.
Yes, thank you so much, Rio.
Actually, that is
Dr.
another
Mm.
another topic that you can conduct an investigation about mental
Uh,
blocking of a person. You can make it
mm.
a research.
You can make it a
Yes.
research. Mental block. Yeah.
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 In
Yes,
my
Dr.
experience,
Alvaro.
yes. In my experience, while I'm driving, or what, even if I'm driving a motorcycle, I'm driving my car, I'm thinking about the title. The title. I have to do this. I think. Uh, you have to motivate yourself. You have to do this. You have to finish this on time. So that's it. And then another one is if you are mental block and seems
Mm.
lost, you have to talk to a professional. We meaning
Mm.
those persons that are good in research and thesis writing and
Mm.
dissertation writing. You have to talk to them so that they will motivate you to finish what you have started.
Yes, that's true. Relax and seek the help of other people. Right? So, Sir Dr. Alvaro, how to be you? Even if you are driving, you are thinking about your research, how to do that. But yeah, all we need to do is to love what we are doing. We have to fall in love to our research. That's the best secret. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Alvaro, Dr. Rio, and Sir Alde. Okay, so Mom Jelly, thank you so much for your wonderful answer. Wonderful question, rather. Sorry. Oh, Mom Mirafe, good evening. In getting the background of the study, Sir Jason, you said that it should not be too long or too short. Is there a specified number of words or number of paragraphs for that parameter po? Yes, very nice question, Ma'am Mirafe. Thank you so much. So, Sir Alde?
All right. So in crafting the background of the study, as I mentioned ago that it is don't write the background of the study too short and too long, but there is no specific number of words, but there is a number of paragraphs that we follow. If we follow the guidelines in my school in Columban College, the background of the study is composed of 4 paragraphs only, as I've discussed a while
Four
ago. But
paragraphs.
there is no
Oh.
specific number or words that we need to attain.
Mhm. Ah, I see, I see. Okay, thank you so much, Sir
Two to three
Alde.
pages. 2 to 3 pages will do.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah, any additional answer, Dr. Rio? Thank you so much, Sir
In
Alde.
addition, thank you. In addition, actually, what Sir Alde had presented is actually the format of Columban College, as also
Mm,
that school is
mm,
also my alma mater way back my
mm,
doctoral days. But actually,
mm,
there's no specific number of words or number, but it is still depends on the format of an institution because some institutions or colleges, not only here in the Philippines but actually all over the world, have also different patterns. So still we need
mm.
to adapt or we need to adjust the prescribed format of a specific institution. There in Columban,
Yes.
the prescribed format is 4 paragraphs, I think, on the background of the study. Okay, so first paragraph is
Mm,
international, then followed by second paragraph Asian, third is
local.
local, then the fourth paragraph is the gap of the study. But again,
Mm,
as what I will reiterate, it depends on the format of the institution in regards to the specified number of words or numbers of paragraphs. Thank you.
yes, yes, I agree with you, sir, and Sir Alde. Yes, how about you, Sir Alvaro? Any
Yes,
additional?
yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same. You have to you
Same.
have to follow what the university
Prescribe.
standard. Yes,
Mm,
but I have. uh, I am mentoring, and I am helping some of the, what do you call this, masters. Uh,
Students.
yeah, they had we are following the 2 to 3 pages. So I have
Mm,
many uh, what do you call this? I'm helping those persons, so they we are
mm.
following the 2 to 3 standard. So
Yes, so it depends on the format of the institution. Yes, that's true. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sir Rios, Sir Alvaro, and Sir Alde. Okay, another question from Mom Lamberto to Sir Alde, I think. Sir, what are the most important points that we need to present in making background of the study? Okay, another relevant question from Lamberto. Thank you so much for your question. Sir Alde, what can you say?
All right, thank you,
Important
Sir
point.
Lamberto, for that question. I think in my perspective, the most important points that we need to present in making our background of the study is the purpose, why you are conducting the research, and at the same time
Research.
the gaps of the studies or related literatures and studies that you're going to that you included in your background of the study.
Yes, yeah. What is your purpose? Okay, why you
Yeah,
choose that?
the purpose.
Why you choose that research? What is the importance in that research? Okay, thank you so much, Sir Alde. Sir
And of
Rio,
course,
any
in addition, then,
additional? Mm. Yes, Sir Alde.
all right, you should also consider your readers.
Mm. The interest of your readers. Sir Rio, any additional answer?
Actually, Sir Alde is right. In
Mm.
the background of the study, this is very important to cite or to identify the relationship of the study to other previous study, the purpose of the
Mm.
study, and most essentially is gap the gap of your
Yeah.
study, so that the readers
Mm.
will understand why you are conducting your research paper. Thank you.
Yeah, and what's new in your research? Yes, Sir Arbaro.
yes, yes. For me, is the background of the study, or the introduction, is
Mm.
this is the very important part of the thesis, wherein you
Mm.
have this is in research. In my research class, I will always said that introduction and background of the study is supposed to be a storytelling. When we say storytelling, you have to attract your reader. You have to motivate them to read
Mm.
your thesis. So
Research.
it's storytelling. You have to what do you call this? You have to gain. You
Mm.
have to what do you call other word for
To
that?
get the
So that
interest.
yes, to gain the interest of the
Mm.
readers. That's why they you can give what you have what you have researched. So that's it.
Mm.
And then after that, you have to know what is really in your study. That is the important
Mm.
thing, that before you go with the research, you have to know what is your topic or
Intention.
your
Mm.
title. Yes, that's it.
Yes, the purpose, the importance of your research. Okay, thank you so much to our brilliant speakers. And thank you so much, Mom Lamberto, for your question. Okay, so Sir Eddie, limitations of research questions. Yeah, good question. So who wants to answer first? Sir
Okay.
Rio?
Actually, there's no, if I'm not mistaken, Doc Alvaro and Sir Alde, there's no limitation of research question as long as those research questions can be answered on your paper.
And related to your
But of
research.
course,
Of course,
of course,
related.
um, for you not uh, to be able na to have a difficulty in crafting your research paper, try to have a limit, of course, on your
Conducting.
research paper. So the more research question, the more it will be difficult for you
Work.
to, of course, to work on your paper.
Yes, yes, that's true. And Sir Alde, do you want to add? Thank you so much, Sir Rio.
Yeah, as Dr. Aria mentioned, you shouldn't make it complicated. So
Mm.
make it simple, make it short question. Maybe I can suggest 3 to 4 questions.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Yeah,
so that it makes it easy for you
to work on.
to work on
Mm.
your research. So don't
Yes,
make it
that's true.
complicated.
Don't make yourself complicated.
Yeah.
And Dr. Alvaro, yeah.
Actually, the research question uh, is based on your title. So that
Mm.
you have to you have to think of the best title so that you could make the best research question. For example, my title in my dissertation is stress causing factors among secondary school teachers and the relationship to job characteristics and job performance. I sorry. Yes, so that's it. Profile and job characteristics. So that your first research question. Later on in our series, we will conduct this. However, this is already
Mm.
a question here, so I will answer. For example, that's my title. First thing, the number one question, research question that I will use is the stress causing factor, number one. Number two, since the next variable is the demographic characteristics, that is number
Mm.
two. And I have the performance, number three. And you have to correlate or differentiate those one. So for one, you have the one and two. For number four, one and one and two, one and three for number five, and number last is four, and number six is two and three. You have to correlate this one, and for another
Correlate.
one, yes, correlate and differentiate those one, and then another one, if you have seven, it depends again. It depends on your title. You have to answer what is in your title. That's it.
Yes. Yes. So, in short, you have to, like, of course, and remember the barbecue of Sir Rio.
The barbecue stick, yeah, the barbecue
So,
stick.
thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so Dr. Rio, Sir Alde, and Dr. Alvaro, and to our participants, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for your wonderful, amazing presentations tonight. Okay, thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Alvaro, Dr.
Thank
Rio,
you.
and Sir Alde. We learned a lot from your presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, to our lovely participants, let us all thank Dr. Alvaro, Dr. Rio, and Dr. Alde for their amazing presentations tonight. Okay, so the most awaited part of our webinar. So today's certification process, okay, January 9, and don't forget the topic of our webinar series tonight, selecting the research title and background of the study. Okay, so certification link is now available in the comment box and pin comment. Certification link will be available always in this program post, our Facebook page, Facebook group, YouTube description. And take note, without an account on our website, you can visit, but you can do anything functionally. Okay, so you must have your account. And again, certification process, you can claim your certificate in two ways. First way is to direct link from comment box, pin comments, and post description. Or if you're not able to click this link, please directly browse www.eduigp.com for all information together. Find today's program, then the process are still the same. Okay, so take note, you must have your account. Otherwise, you cannot download your e-certificate. If you are new, okay, again, January 9, and please note this is the code of tonight webinar IGP 4746. I repeat, the code of tonight webinar is IGP 4746. And take note, without code, no one is eligible for certificate. So you can screenshot or you can note our code for tonight's webinar. And with code, you can claim your certificates anytime. So don't be rushed. And okay, you can see this in our website. With code IGP 4746, just enter that in the certificate code, then click Get Your Certificate. And important note, without an account on our website, you can visit but you cannot do anything functionally. So again, you must create your account. Okay, so that you can download or you can download your certificate or you can see um, the the titles of our webinars. And this is an example of the certificate of participation. So as you can see on your screen, that is a example, ISO certified. Okay, so that is the example of your certificate, and anyone can verify your certificate. As you can see on the bottom of your um, certificate. Near future program duration in all webinars. Duration is 3 hours. If you need certificates with program duration, please download all again now with duration. So in your certificate, it's stated there the number of hours or the duration of our webinar. So that is 3 hours. Our free international webinar certificate is auto-downloadable in PDF file. You don't need to download it manually. So I think it's better if you are using your laptop or desktop, you can download the PDF file of your certificate. Dear participants, if any problem raised to claim your certificate or any other issues, please don't be hesitant to contact us. Okay, so if you are facing any problems downloading your e-certificate, so don't be hesitant to contact us so that we can help you. Our core team members are always ready in comment section to support you to find solutions for your problem. Just let us or just inform us. Okay, so in Facebook page, we have Cherise and Mom Janet Cablao. That is IGP Community Facilitating Official. So you can ask these two beautiful ladies if you're facing any problems downloading your e-certificate. Okay, Mom Cherise and Mom Janet. And in Facebook group, we have Mom Cherilyn, Jonas, Alonso, and Sir Alonso Warren Cariaga, IGP Community Facilitating Officials. And in YouTube channel, we have Sir Kelvin, Sir Joel, and Sir Jeffrey. So please don't hesitate to ask question to this handsome man to help you answer your questions. Okay, so that's all for tonight. Thank you so much and keep on joining in our webinar every day. Thank you so much for your wonderful participation. Have a good night to all of you. Thank you.